Good morning everybody. I'm about to head out on my first training run with company, and so as I mentioned in previous videos, looking to be around about 10k at 6 minutes per kilometre. Apparently I don't quite know the standard of the other people in terms of their current fitness or what they've been doing leading up to this run. However, they have both as individuals completed I believe 3 marathons each, and so obviously they understand the process. It's about a degree or so over freezing, so it's going to be a chilly run, that's for sure. I'm wearing more than this, by the way. I've got kind of a fleecy kind of outer layer. I've got some gloves as well, but it should be good. Should be good fun. This video will go up Sunday, which is tomorrow, because after the run I've got I've got a charity event which is happening today. The thing also that I've been working hard on for the last few weeks. And so it's going to be a busy day all round, but a great way to start the day with hopefully a nice steady run, just to get back into the flow and to really kickstart this marathon plan journey. So thanks a lot for sticking with me, and I shall update you when I return. It could be a little bit hard to see me, I'm just in the car, just arrived. I meant to say that as I stepped outside the door, it started to rain or sort of sleet, and so what I decided to do was change that fleecy layer I had for more of a kind of a windbreaker, waterproof, because obviously over time that fleecy material is just going to be absolutely drenched. I don't know if the rain's going to stick with us or not, but I just thought it was best to do that. And also I wasn't entirely sure on the type of paths we were running on, and so what I've done is I've worn my trail shoes, my Brooks Glycerin shoes, kind of to play it safe, I suppose, because the area that they live in is surrounded by a lot of fields, a lot of kind of grassy areas, a lot of woodland, and it'd be great to run a trail today. I really enjoy that, but like I said, I couldn't quite anticipate what it was going to be like, and so I've dressed accordingly. Like I say, I will check in with you afterwards. Okay, so it's Sunday morning. I'm just getting ready to get this video up online, but I thought I would do a little bit of analysis of how yesterday went. So the session itself was 10k, as I mentioned it would be. It was part trail, part path. So it's kind of interesting for me because I chose the calderas, but the thing is I want to be running using the trainers I'm going to be using for the marathon, but equally those trainers are not necessarily set up for trail running, and so I'm not really too sure where I'm going to be with that situation. Any advice, most welcome. The pace was between about 5:40 and 6 minutes per kilometre, and I'll put that up on the screen now whilst I'm talking, which obviously for me is quite good because I tend to train around the 5:30, sometimes a bit quicker, sometimes a bit slower, so it actually meant that I was well within my kind of comfort zone of being able to achieve that distance with, I say, relative ease. Obviously it's still something where I was getting up and just going straight for 10k. I might sometimes put a little bit more work in behind the scenes before I go straight out and hit a 10k like that. But actually a really good point was raised. When you're running as a group or as a team, and you know that those people are waiting there at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, rain or shine, it's just that extra level of accountability, and it just means you do get up and go. And so that means what I'm going to do is adapt my training plan where my long run was sat on the Sunday, and I'm going to move that to the Saturday. So I'm basically going to be doing my long runs hopefully alongside these people. Should there be a day where they're not able to do it, I will do my long run as normal on Saturday instead, but they are obviously doing it as a progressive step week by week. Next week I think it's around 13-14k, and it's going to involve some running along by the side of a canal. So again, I mean, that's a traily sort of route, and I'm a bit unsure. I really am unsure about what I'm supposed to be wearing here, because I wanted to wear the Adrenaline GTS shoes, which by the way are causing me some issues. I'm getting the blister situation I mentioned well, probably was it a month ago, 2 months ago maybe. It just feels like my foot is slipping slightly towards the inner of the shoe, and I don't know why it is. So I'm going to try and get into a running shop if I can today, and just, I suppose, get some guidance. It may well be that I've just got the size slightly wrong. I don't know, but they were fine for ages, and then they just, something just doesn't feel right about them. But anyway, the point is, if I want to use that for my Brighton Marathon, I need to just make sure that I'm in the right shoe, in the right size, everything is as it should be. What else is there to mention about that run? So yeah, it was just really good, conversational. Everyone focusing on the job in hand, all working towards a goal. That was it. I reminded myself. So I'm doing a half marathon, as you may or may not know. However, there's also another half marathon which actually is more local to me, which they're taking part in. And I suppose my first question is, should I be entering that half as well? Not necessarily for a time, but basically if I'm going to be doing 20 kilometres, let's say, on a Saturday, should I just do the half with them, which, as you know, is around about 20 kilometres anyway, as just part of that training day? And even if I just say to them, look, I'm just gonna head out and do this at my own pace, is that an option? They also do, a few weeks before the marathon, a 20 miler. Again, I've got no experience as to whether that's a good idea or a bad idea. There's no pressure from them. They just basically say, if you want to jump on board with it, you can. London is further along than Brighton, so my marathon will actually happen before theirs. And so with that in mind, have I got the same rest and recovery timeline as them? No, I don't. These are just questions I'm kind of throwing out to the audience there. And equally, my plan that I've kind of put together, I might need that kind of just looked at by somebody with a bit more inside knowledge about whether it's going to work or not for me, because I'm feeling like it looks appropriate, it looks correct, but at the same time, am I missing something important? I don't know. So if anybody else out there wants to cast an eye over it, I would truly appreciate that. And then the event yesterday, I just want to drop a little mention to two charities, NSPCC, who we were raising money for last night, which you can find out more about in the link below, and the Many Air Society. I happen to be wearing this one, by the way, because we got given some charity tops, and there was white ones and green ones. Green for NSPCC. And I picked this one up here. It's perhaps a lesser known charity, but they do some fantastic work, and it was a really special evening last night. A great way to see in the festive period kind of kickstart, even though we're about, a week or so away from Christmas, something crazy like that. It just felt like you go to an event like that, people singing Christmas songs, it just ticked all the boxes for me. And had a bit of a crazy day with the eating. What do I eat in a day? Well, yesterday I had start of the day with some oats and some blueberries and some flaxseed, chia seeds and hemp seed. That was fantastic. Obviously, I had a real short turnaround time, and then when I got out to the location of where I was going to be for the day, I grabbed myself kind of an oaty raisin snack bar, which was great, and I had some lunchtime, some bulgur wheat and sweet potato and all the good stuff. So that was really good as well. And I grabbed another oaty bar because I just knew we were going to be more or less wall-to-wall focus all day. There's limited periods we could stop to eat food, so I just grabbed some quick, easy meals. But then I bought some chocolate, vegan of course, and inevitably ate the whole bar because that's what you do. And then afterwards we had a bit of a celebration. It was supposed to be a kind of cheese and wine evening, which obviously I wouldn't be eating cheese, and I don't really drink wine. I don't really drink. And then somebody said, I'm going to go and get some fish and chips. So they got some chips, and I ate chips like I never eaten chips before. I've not eaten them for so long, so when you get them from a proper fish and chip shop, obviously I'm not eating fish. And it was cooked the correct way, because I asked that question, vegan friendly, which is also really good to know. So yeah, I ate loads of chips. So I woke up this morning feeling like, I just need to drink water and water on top of water, because I'm just feeling the effects of, it's a bit of a festive blowout, I suppose. Anyway, what I'm going to do today is probably just do a light 5k just to kind of blow those cobwebs away. Felt really good yesterday, really positive run, and onwards and upwards, and we'll kickstart this marathon plan. I'm going to be meeting them again next Saturday. I hadn't officially decided to start my marathon plan until the week after Christmas, because I knew I was doing things anyway, so it wasn't like I was starting from scratch. But this Saturday long run just means I get that momentum and that build up for my marathon. Made a slight error. Sunday, and most shops open at 11, but the running shop doesn't open till 11:30, so it means I'm in early. So what I'm going to do is just go and see if I can find any running gear at one of the TK Maxx stores we have. That's where there's the big brands just discounted down. Doesn't mean I will find anything, but normally I can grab a couple of pairs of socks there, which as you know can be highly overpriced. and they're normally there in a pretty reasonable cost. I managed to grab some, was it last week, for £1, down from 19.99 if you believe the RRP, which sometimes I just don't believe it at all. So I'm going to do that, and then go to this running shop, which I've been looking at reviews online, and apparently it's really highly rated. They've got a great range in there. I'm going to see if they can just give me some advice. I'm wearing my Adrenaline GTS just so I can go there and say to them, look, something's just not quite right with them. It may be an insole thing, it may be just the way that I run. I'm putting pressure on one side, I really don't know. But it's about time I went to an expert rather than just trying to guess myself. And equally, when I'm in there, I might see if I can try on some shoes. I do love my Brooks, I absolutely love them, but that said, I've not tried a huge range, and I do like a shoe with some bounce. I don't necessarily like to feel like I'm really hitting the firm pavement particularly hard. I like to just kind of bounce along, float along. It feels comfortable for me, but I think it's also worth taking an opportunity if I can. Just try a few others on, and it wouldn't surprise me to find out that I've made an error in sizing or width or something like that, because when I was buying shoes it wasn't really with any specific knowledge. It was just based on how I would buy, I suppose, a normal pair of shoes. Anyway, I'll catch up with you once I've been into store. Alright, just to give you an update, went to the running shop, had my the gait analysis, and basically I run more or less similar in a neutral and a supportive shoe, which is good, because it could have been one or the other. My right leg, very straight, good positioning. Left leg, rolling slightly, just slightly, but also, I mean, it's on a treadmill and they record it for 10 seconds or so it is what that is. So I tried on a few shoes, Mizuno, New Balance, Saucony, Brooks, and basically every time I tried a shoe on, I originally started with the Brooks Glycerin, went to a Brooks Ghost, and I've got to be honest, sometimes things feel different, and so I felt like the New Balance really were hugging my foot quite tight. It didn't feel very comfortable. The Saucony's really lightweight, not for me. Mizuno's not too bad, but just felt a bit blocky, a bit chunky. The Ghost, interestingly, did not have the same height at the rear of the shoe, and it just felt like my foot was going to fall out of it. Now, okay, I didn't take it out on the road, and maybe that's just in my head, but the thing is, I just want to have faith in the shoes, and I lost a lot of faith in these Adrenaline GTS 18s, and I think the sizing was probably more or less correct, but I just don't feel like they're doing the job. Good for short runs. On the long run, the last thing I need is to be coming up with a blister, or having this kind of blister be the focus point when I'm running. It just rubs and rubs and rubs and just becomes worse. So anyway, long story short, went with the Glycerins. Really nice pair of shoes. Now, I could have probably got them cheaper online. The thing is, it's an independent running shop. It's busy in there. The service was exceptional, and I felt like I came out of there with the right shoe. There was no pressure to buy. So yeah, did that, got that sorted, and a couple of gels as well. I just wanted to close up this video with a quick look at the new shoes that I bought today. So if you haven't seen them before, these are the Brooks Glycerin 16. Something amazing there about buying a new pair of shoes, just the kind of the look and the feel. So just like this, it's got all the support that I personally look for. I will do something a little bit more detailed on this as a separate video, but essentially everything about the shoe was great. I do like to have the additional support here, and as I mentioned, this here is higher than the Ghost, which I think came to about here. Each their own, of course, everybody's different, but for me, it was Brooks that shone through as the shoe that really did feel the best on my foot. I know there's lots of people out there with their own preferences, And again, that's really interesting for me as well. So that's the shoe that, if all goes to plan, I'm taking forward into the Brighton Marathon. So there it is now. I don't know how many miles I'm going to be putting on it between now and then. But if everything goes as it should, this is the one that crosses the finish line.